Hi everybody, welcome back to the latest edition of the Fargo Force Show. Joining me this week is Force defenseman Jake McLaughlin from just outside the Chicago area, right? Hinsdale, Illinois?
Yep, Hinsdale. It's 30 minutes outside of Chicago.
You kind of claim the Chicago name. It just makes it easier though, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Well, Jake, this is your second year in the USHL. You split last season between Sioux City and the Force, came over kind of the last third of the season or so. This season, all with the Force, 2 goals and an assist, and an impressive plus-minus of 4 so far. What has been the second season like with the Force this year and in the USHL?
Yeah, so the first season was kind of rough. The guys are kind of frustrated. We usually win 2, lose 2. So this second half, we wanted to take a step in January, and Carrie talked about taking a step, and I think we've been really good for the past few games, and these past 3 games have been huge for us. So if we can get that 4th win, that'd be huge for us.
What has it been like in your second season? How much easier, how much more comfortable have you felt being in this league now for 2 years?
Yeah, so the second year guy like myself, I'm the only guy on the back end who was here last year, and it's huge. I mean, you know what players are going to do. You know how to play the game. Like you adjust to players, so you adjust to the speed. So. It's just all around. It's just an upgrade being in your second year.
Now we mentioned you're a defenseman. Tell me about kind of your style of play. How would you describe yourself?
I'm offensive. Yeah, obviously I'd like to have some more points, but I do like to take care of my D zone, and I take pride in my plus minus as well. So
strengths of your game. What would you say?
I'm a puck moving defenseman. I like to join the play, but I think I'm pretty good defensively. So I think I need to get stronger too. So. Moving the puck and moving my feet and keeping them play in front of me and making plays and breaking the puck out. It's probably my strengths.
And for future hockey, you've committed to go to St. Lawrence University with one of your teammates, goalie Ryan Wishow as well. So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to see him there. It's just a familiar face. I know a couple guys are going there as well. So maybe we'll room next year. We'll see. So
and we'll talk about Mr. Wishow later in the show as well. Now, growing up close to Chicago, big Chicago sports fan at all? Any of the teams you follow?
Yeah, for sure. I love the Blackhawks. So Patrick Kane, one of my favorite players. So it's hard not to love them. So they're doing really well this year. So
and give us a rundown on the Chicago food. You big Chicago pizza guy?
Yeah, I love the pizza. Yeah, definitely. The pizza's great.
What about Chicago food in general? Any place? Is that somewhere you always would kind of try to go downtown to a certain place or a certain style of stuff that you like to eat?
Yeah, there's this one really nice restaurant me and my family go to. It's called Ralph Lauren. It's a really nice restaurant. They have a whole variety of everything there, so it's probably one of our go-to spots.
Nice. Did you get to stop there on your way to Youngstown this year or not?
No.
Not the restaurant, but go through Chicago though?
I think we went through Chicago, yeah. But I remember that. It was our 18-hour bus ride. And that was my first week here with the Force, so it's a pretty long bus ride, and I didn't know any of the guys, so.
You could tell them all about the Chicago area, though,
yeah.
Give them some tips
and
stuff.
For sure.
So. All right, well, since our last show, the Force have played 4 games. Let's get caught up on how things have went. First of all, Friday and Saturday, January 15th and 16th, the Force lost to Sioux Falls on the 15th, 3-2. The Force led 2-0 in the second, but couldn't hold it. Goals by Meyer and Smirnoff there. And then Saturday, January 16th, the Force start out on their winning streak. 1-0, they defeat Lincoln. Ryan Wishow with 30 saves. The lone goal by our guest from last Force show, Shane McMahon. He had his 3rd of the year. And the Force on the penalty kill, excellent. They held Lincoln to 0 for 8 on the power play. So then moving on to the next weekend now. Friday, January 2nd, they hosted a weekend series against Waterloo, the team just ahead of you guys in the conference. First period, Fargo's Carson Musser shoots, and it's redirected in by Hank Crone, his 8th of the year. 1-0 Force, just 2 minutes into the game. Later in the power play, Dennis Smirnoff, the beautiful pass to Blake Lozado puts home the bottle knocker, 2-0 Force. Now, Hugo Reinhardt would finish the period with his 2nd tally of the year to make it 3-0 Force. They'd add goals by Smirnoff, Gerard, and Belisle. 6 goals in all for the Force. They win at 6-0. Wishow, stellar in net again, 25 saves, his 3rd shutout of the season and 2nd in a row. And then on the next night, again, the Force with another win against Waterloo, this time 3-1. Wishow solid again. Goals by Meyer, Lazat, and our guest today, McLaughlin. And you guys were very good in the power play as well. And let's take a look at some of those highlights from Saturday's game against Waterloo. It was Military Appreciation Night. Jake, could you ever do something like that?
Definitely not.
rappelling down from the ceiling. First period, Force on the power play. Hank Krohn's shot redirected in by Grant Meyer. 1-0 Force. That's worth another look. Look at Meyer just taking a swing at it. That's a great effort there. 1-1 in the third now. Again on the power play. Blake Lazat, 2 chances in front. He bangs in the second one, 2-1. Later on, our guest today, Mr. McLaughlin, will take us through this last goal for the Force.
It was just kind of like a play up to Bradley Johnson. I was calling for it to go D on the blue line there, and ended up getting it here and just open shot. So decided to take a slap shot and screen in front of the net, and the rest is history. That
ice there, the Force would win that one 3-1 for their 3rd straight victory. Tell me just about having three wins in a row now, Jake. This ties your season tie for the Force. You've had 2 3-game winning streaks. So just being on this streak, how good it feels, and how determined you guys are to make it 4, 5, 6, or not settle for 3.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. It feels especially good because it was a sweep at home, which we haven't had all year. But I think we need to get that next game, and that's going to be huge. So to get to 4 is that's going to be whatever happens after that is 3 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
Right. That's kind of the way it's been this season. Let's take a look. After the 3-game winning streak, take a look at the updated standings in the USHL's Western Conference. With those wins, the Force now moving up a little bit. Lincoln and Tri-City still sitting 1-2, but look at those last 5 teams, all within 5 points. Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Waterloo, the Force, and Des Moines, all within 2 points of each other. Jake, what do you think when you look at those standings?
I think this past weekend was huge, beating Waterloo, who's right there with us. It's obviously very tight. It's a tight race. So we have these upcoming games against Tri-City here. So they're high in our division, so we want to steal some points from them.
All right. Now, one of the members of the Force was honored this week, and maybe not hard to figure it out after we looked at some of those highlights. Goalie Ryan Wishow was named the USHL Goaltender of the Week. He had back-to-back shutouts, as we mentioned, on January 16th and the 22nd. And in his past 3 games, Wishow only allowed 1 goal, all Force wins, as we've noted. 2.09 goals against average. That's 2nd in the USHL right now. And in the month of January, how about this? 1.37 goals against average. 6 games for Wishow, just 8 goals allowed. Talk about how important he's been, Jake, to your guys' good play in January, especially recently.
Yeah, he's been huge. I think we have the highest or lowest goals against in our division, so I think we're helping him out too defensively, and we're blocking shots, and he's just been great in that overall. So yeah, just really great, really great.
That's good, and that's how you get the winning streaks. You get the goalie, you get the defense, and you get the goals as well. Let's take a look. You mentioned it, the upcoming schedule for the Force now coming up the next 2 weekends, Friday and Saturday, January 29th and 30th. You host Tri-City. They're the 2nd place team in your conference. That'll be a very tough test. And then the following weekend on the road at Green Bay, and they happen to be the 2nd place team in the USHL's Eastern Conference. So it's not going to be easy to get build on that 3-game winning streak. But you guys are playing well right now. Tell me about the challenge of these next 4 games, Jake.
I think Tri-City is a pretty hot team. We're pretty hot, so I think we just need to shut them down, hold them to a couple goals a game, and I think we'll be successful.
Do you guys feel like, after this 3-game winning streak, can you feel like it's starting to happen, or is it still a little too early to say, or do you feel like, you got some young guys that have kind of come in, some new guys, that coaches brought in over the last month? Is it kind of starting to gel maybe a little bit?
Yeah, guys are talking around the locker room, everything's just kind of coming together. Coaches know it too, so I just think this next win is definitely huge for us. So once we get that, I think we'll be rolling.
All right, well, the Force will try to build on that 3-game winning streak. At this next time, try to go for the season high 4, 5, or 6-game winning streak, or possibly even more. Jake McLaughlin, thanks for joining me this week. Best of luck the rest of the way.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Fargo Force Show.